Is that in Kitty?
Yes.
94, 95, 96, 97.3 Citi FM. It doesn't get any better than that.
Detailed news, unparalleled coverage. Citi News on 97.3 FM.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Citi News.
.3 Citi FM. Hello, good evening, and welcome to Eyewitness News, coming to you live from our studio here in Accra. My name is Sami Wiafe, and tonight I'm here with
Ejubi Wiafe Akenting.
Coming up in the next 1 hour, 30 minutes.
We deem him unfit to continue as the minister for this strategic ministry, and therefore call on him to resign, or for His Excellency the President to fire him.
Minority in Ghana's parliament demands resignation of Communications Minister Samuel Nete George over his handling of the multi-choice Ghana issues. Tonight, we hear if the calls are justified. Also coming up on Eyewitness News, hundreds of unpaid nurses and midwives demonstrate over 10 months salary arrears. And later on Eyewitness News,
the government has taken a decision to increase the producer price of cocoa to 3,625 Ghana cedis per bag.
Government announces a 12.27% increase in cocoa producer price for the 2025-2026 season. Tonight, we hear how significant this increase means to Ghanaian cocoa farmers. Stay with 97.3 Citi FM for more on this and other stories on Eyewitness News. Also coming up in business.
All port charges to be merged onto one platform to boost revenue.
Eyewitness News is live on our affiliates across the country, around the globe. We're on citinewsroom.com. Talking about affiliates.
In the Western region, we're live on Premier FM 100.5 and Beach 10.5 FM in Takrade. In the Bono region, tune in to Greener FM 95.9 FM in Sunyane. In the Ahafo region, we're live on Hamas Radio 106.5 FM in Goso. In the Ashanti region, you can tune in to Orange FM 107.9 in Kumase. In the Volta region, we're live on Akwini Radio 96.7 FM in Pando and Heritage 107.3 in Hohoi. In the northern region, it's Dasuma 99.1 in Yendi, and in the upper east region, we're Wed 88.3 FM in Zuarungu. In the upper west region, we're also live on Westlink 88.1 FM in Laura, and in the northeast region, you can tune in to Eagle 94.1 FM in Wale.
You can also join the conversation with your WhatsApp message 0549 986 996 0549 986 996. Ejubi has our first story.
The government of Ghana has increased the producer price of cocoa for the 2025-2026 season from 3,228 cedis per to 3,625 cedis per 64 kilo bag. This translates into 58,000 cedis per ton. The decision was taken by the Producer Price Review Committee chaired by the Minister for Finance, Dr. Kesiel Atuforsen. Speaking at a press briefing to announce the review, Dr. Forsen said the move is to ensure Ghana's farm gate price of cocoa remains competitive after Ivory Coast raised its price yesterday.
This announcement, as we informed you, was based on a forecast of world market price and a forecast of a certain exchange rate. Subsequently, we have seen some changes, and it's important for us to meet again to review the producer price. We have subsequently conveyed that meeting, and we are pleased to announce a new producer price to take effect from tomorrow, Friday, the 3rd October 2025. It is my singular honor to announce that on the basis of the changes that we have affected to the forecast, the government has taken a decision to increase the producer price of cocoa to 3,625 625 Ghana cedis per bag, or 58,000 Ghana cedis per ton.
You heard Minister for Finance Dr. Kesio Atoforsen.
Let's go on to the phone line and speak to Jerome Kwekusam. He's head of public affairs for the Ghana Cocoa Board. Jerome, good evening. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much for having me.
How was this decision arrived at?
Good evening to you and also to your listeners. I think that it's quite simple. This clearly demonstrates that a government led by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama always seeks the interest of the cocoa farmer. Because too long ago, the government through the Ministry of Finance announced an increment from the 3,100 Ghana cedis to 3,228 Ghana cedis out of an FOB of $7,200, which represented 70%. Just under 2 months, the government again has decided to increase the price from 3,228 to 3,625. Just so for the farmer to know that indeed, whatever that the government did promise during the days of position, he really means it, but not by just words or rhetoric. Now, in the determination of the cocoa price, two factors play very vital or important roles. These factors are the price on the international market and also the exchange rate within a certain period of time. That is why most of the times we do refer to it as what? An average rate. Because we pick the exchange rate from a certain period, then we do what? We strike the average. Now, it is right for us to know that since the announcement in August, the price on the international market has been declining. It has been declining. And this is the detriment or disadvantage of what? Cocoa Board and the government as such, because it will further reduce our revenue. Again, another factor which has to do with the exchange rate. Our cedi has slightly depreciated against what? Against the dollar, making it imperative, as it were, for the government to adjust the price of the cocoa. Now, if the argument is that the price on the international market is falling, again, we are having a depreciation of our currency, then the government could have said that, okay, irrespective of the political motivating factor of Cote d'Ivoire, we would still keep our price. But because the government of the day is highly interested in seeking the well-being of the ordinary cocoa farmer, the government decided that, look, even though we are in difficult times, we still will have to make an upward adjustment of the price so that the cocoa farmer will have a commensurating reward for whatever sacrifices that they are making. So, in short, I would say that this is clearly to secure or safeguard the interest of the cocoa farmer, looking at the prevailing circumstances.
For the ordinary cocoa farmer, how significant is this? Because if you look at the difference, it's just about 400 Ghana cedis. How is this significant to the ordinary cocoa farmer?
When it was increased from 3,100 Ghana cedis to 3,225, the argument was that, a party 128 Ghana cedis. So that was insignificant. Now it has been further increased by 400 Ghana cedis. Are we still telling that as insignificant or paltry? I'm not sure that 400 Ghana cedis is same as compared to 128. If those nominal figures in terms of the argument still hold, then you cannot say that this is it. If we cast our mind back to some period, you would know that irrespective of the difficulty moment or the difficult moment that the John Mahama-led administration and Cocoa Board finds itself in, we are still making effort to making sure that, look, the cocoa farmer is always prioritized. If you read the statement by the minister, it clearly stated that all other stakeholders have their rates unchanged, except for the cocoa farmer. So we are not even equalizing, let alone to talk about prioritizing the interest of other stakeholders as compared to the ordinary cocoa farmer. Look, the reason why this 400 Ghana cedis is significant is that if we had the situation whereby you have inflation galloping, as we experienced some time ago, then you will see that it will affect the general prices of goods and services, thereby making the increment insignificant or paltry, because the gains of it would have been derailed by a certain inflation. But today, through the prudent administration of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and the Finance Minister, we've achieved a single-digit inflation again, which clearly means that we are either having a stable or stability in prices, or we are having a reduction in prices. We are not experiencing the situation whereby you have price increasing on a daily basis. So the farmer will have some kind of value for the money that has been increased. So today, the 400 Ghana cedis can buy more than 3 bags of oil, more than 3 bags of cement. This is in addition to the other support that the government is doing by providing free seedlings, by giving free fertilizer, free fungicide, and then insecticide, and also the production free machines, and all that. On top of it, government is saying that 2026, 2027, every child of a cocoa farmer who gains an admission to any tertiary institution in Ghana will not pay a dime. It is going to be for free. So clearly, it epitomizes the commitment of the government to ensuring that he seeks the welfare or the well-being of the cocoa farmer, and also making cocoa farming activities very attractive in our country. So anybody who comes to argue that this is patchy or insignificant, then I beg to differ, and I really wouldn't know where the president is arguing from.
In as much as you have the cocoa farmers at heart, there was an article on Reuters that says that Ecuador is on the verge of becoming a powerhouse when it comes to cocoa production. We know in Ghana, the issue of galamsey has affected cocoa production. As Cocoa Board, what measures are you putting in place to ensure that we don't lose the position we have as far as a cocoa producer country is concerned, and also that we more or less help the cocoa farmer to produce more, aside the measures you have just mentioned, including scholarship for the children and the likes?
So the Cocoa Board, which is being led by Dr. Ransford, is highly committed to ensuring a sustainability in the industry. I say so because we are not even prepared about what is going on in Ecuador. Because Ecuador is projecting that by 2026, 2027, they will be making like 650,000. But this is the projection that we are making in even in 2025, 2026. So on the basis of that, it will be unfair for anybody to make this comparison, because somebody who is making a projection, which we have targeted today, he or they are making it in 2026, 2027, but we are doing it today. Again,
but I'm not sure you would dismiss such a threat from Ecuador, because they are not known to be a cocoa producing country. See, but then all of a sudden we are hearing them becoming a power. I'm not sure this is something you would just dismiss.
Rafi, in as much as I'm not dismissing it, I'm not sure we should be in an unhealthy competition with Ecuador, because we have different climates, we have different soil, and all the factors possibly are different. And also, it is important for us to know that Ghana was hit by CSSVD. I'm not sure same has been hit by us, Ecuador. I'm not sure same has been hit by Ecuador. That is why I'm telling you that, irrespective of this, these are two sovereign countries, and we do not have control over how or what they want to do in respect of the production of cocoa. But we are very particular about the measures that we put in place. One of the measures is to ensure that we rehabilitate both moribund farms and then deceased farms. Because if you are able to do that on a larger scale, it brings on board additional tonnage, which will boost the productivity of Ghana. Also, we are seriously tackling the issue of smuggling. And the Chief Executive, Dr. Ransford, has equipped and resourced the Special Services Department, which is in collaboration with various security agencies, manning our borders and all that. Not long ago, the Chief Executive tasked me for us to procure mobile phones for the Special Services Department, which we put the numbers out there. so that information relating to cocoa smuggling could be reported and subsequently action being taken. So these are all measures that we are putting in place to ensure at least we kept smuggling and all that. And also the issue of galamsey. When it comes to the office of Dr. Ransford, we have the creation of a galamsey list. Now we have even changed it to tree protection unit, whereby issues relating to galamsey are being reported on a daily basis to the chief executive officer for him to subsequently take a decision as to what will be done and also the education. Today, price was announced. I am not in Accra. The chief executive has tasked me to be in the regions and explain and share with our cocoa farmers as to what is happening and also the measures that we are being putting in place to ensure that at least productivity shows up. Because when productivity shows up, it definitely will bring in revenue. But it also has adverse effects. Because the simple or the basic law of supply is that when you have excess supply or something, it further reduces the price. And this is where I commend Dr. Ransford Abbey, because he has anticipated that if we are boosting productivity, we could face such challenge. What are we going to do? What we are going to do is to veer into the processing of cocoa. That is why today, under his leadership, we are making sure that cocoa processing company, that is CPC, is being revamped to a certain capacity that can produce our cocoa, processing it into chocolate, liquor, butter, and what have you, whereby we could create employment for our teeming youth and also raise certain revenue to show up the difference or the shortage that will be occasioned as a result of the oversupply of cocoa. Because if Ecuador is coming on board, if Ivory Coast is coming on board, if Ghana wants to boost productivity and what have you, obviously we would inundate the world market with the supply of cocoa, and the price of it will be dropped. So we need to make sure that we have other alternatives whereby when we gravitate towards such point, we wouldn't find ourselves wanting by way of a reduction in revenue, but instead would have an avenue whereby we will be able to close in the revenue that hitherto we would have lost because of the oversupply of cocoa. Okay,
Jerome, thank you very much for your time. Jerome Kwekusam is head of public relations at the Ghana Cocoa Board, speaking to us. This is Eyewitness News, coming to you live from our studio here in Accra.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
If you know these sounds, you didn't just live through the 90s, you lived the experience. Back then, connection took minutes. Today, it takes a blink. You express yourself with memes. You hold video calls across continents. You say hey to an AI who responds, "Hello, Kwame." You order rides, dinner, and dreams all from the palm of your hand. A lot has changed, so have we. For over 3 decades, EcoBank has evolved with you, leading digital banking in Ghana and across 33 African countries, pioneering solutions built around how you live, move, and dream today. From our Express Points to EcoBank Pay, online banking and the mobile app, we are where you are. Here for today, ready for tomorrow. Now, that's change. Powered by EcoBank.
EcoBank, a better way to bank your way. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Oh, jump on now. Go. Google me. And what time when you come back where I don't hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car?
No, I don't change my car. It be the same ride. It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, it's so.
This is the type of fuel where they want to. Because now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive
Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mind self be the 3-in-1 action. No, Excellium they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. Won't pay way now pay them.
Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel?
Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you.
Hey, they make a finish Magobe fast then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why you have the Magobe inside?
I give you info. Make a feel the gobe too small.
Go.
Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
Looking for
to a location that gives your business a competitive edge. Dawa Industrial Zone offers world-class facilities, direct access to major trade hubs, and a thriving business ecosystem. Whether you are setting up in the manufacturing, logistics, or services, our ready-to-use industrial spaces and supportive policies make expansion easy. And if you're not an investor but you know someone who is, you can refer them and earn a commission. Convert connections into cash. Refer industrial land buyers and earn. Join leading businesses already benefiting from Dawa Industrial Zone strategic advantages. Get started today or refer a business and get rewarded. Visit www.diz-ghana.com or call 055-20-40,000. Dawa Industrial Zone, where businesses thrive.
This year is going to be sweet. I don't just feel it, I know it, because the Luckiest Season 3 is back.
And I'm about to show you how to grab your golden ticket. Just dial *712# and follow the prompts to purchase your ticket. Or go to theluckiestafrica.com, hit community tickets, and pick your lucky number.
Or let the system do its magic. Choose how much you want to spend from 1 to 5,000 Ghana cedis. You can even buy a ticket for someone else. Be someone's hero. Payment? Easy. Mobile money in Ghana or card if you're international.
One ticket can turn 1 CD into 500 times more. That's much we love. Or your community will win 10 times more. So let's get lucky together, because luck is everywhere.
Play responsibly, not for persons under 18 years. This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
You're welcome back. You're still listening to Eyewitness News, coming to you live from our studio here in your car.
The minority in Parliament is demanding the resignation of Communications Minister Samuel Nate George over what they describe as his poor handling of the DSTV pricing negotiations. According to the minority, the minister failed to deliver on the 30% reduction in DSTV subscription fees. Instead, he announced revised packages from MultiChoice, which the minority says do not reflect any meaningful relief for consumers. Deputy Ranking Member on the Communications Committee, Charles Oredu, addressed a press conference earlier today accusing the minister of misleading the public and calling for his immediate resignation or for the president to relieve him of his duties.
It is also demonstrated that the minister lacks the temperament and emotional intelligence for such a critical role. He has demonstrated this same trait on numerous public utterances, insults to citizens and industry players during the process. By adopting an arbitrary decision-making posture, the minister is also denying regulators such as the NCA the opportunity to perform their work according to law, which clearly threatens the growth of this sensitive industry. His actions also signal a breach of the President's Code of Conduct that requires candor and respect to all persons. For this display of ineptitude, incompetence, and penchant for deceit, we of the minority demand that 1. The minister render an unqualified apology to Ghanaians for the waste of the nation's time and resources on this venture.
You heard Deputy Ranking Member on the Communications Committee, Charles Oredu.
Let's go to the phone and speak to Davis Opoku-Ansah. He's a member of the Communications and Information Committee and a member of Parliament for the Impriso constituency. Davis, good evening. Thank you very much for your time.
Good evening, Sammy. I hope you're doing well.
Well, thank you. Thanks for asking. Is resignation not too harsh to ask of a minister over this matter, because at least he's gotten some nice package for Ghanaians who use DSTV?
I like the way you put it, nice package. But you see, at the heart of service, at the heart of public service, there's integrity. I mean, exhibiting that level of honesty. You cannot repackage a promotional activity of DSTV and sell to Ghanaians and want us to believe that it's a novelty, something that has not happened in this country. And that is what Sam George did. I mean, we are not saying that the package that DSTV is offering is not good. I've been a DSTV subscriber in the last 5 years. I enjoy periodic upgrades. I mean, they tell me move from compact to compact plus and you're going to enjoy some services, move from compact plus to premium, you're going to enjoy these services. So we thought that the claim press conference, the noise that he made, he was going to present to Ghanaians some price reductions. But it was a repackaged DSTV promotional activities. And if you listen to the press conference of the minister, clearly you could see that he was engaged in some level of deceit. And that is why we believe that if he believes in the honesty, the very yardstick, the very thing that he judged people with, he ought to do the needful and resign as a minister. Reduction in prices is what Ghanaians called for. Reduction in prices is what he presented to the DSTV people, and he's come back with a promotional activity. So now, probably maybe Sam George wants a better job. He wants the president to disappoint him, and maybe DSTV or MultiChoice appoints him as their promotional manager. That we can accept. And so he should honorably resign as minister responsible for communication and go and work as a DSTV promotional manager. That we can accept. But you see, at the heart of his submissions, his delivery, is the display of arrogance, gross incompetence, and no value for the democracy or the values that this country has held on for a very long time. And that is a challenge. I mean, you're a young minister. We expect that you come to the table with some sincerity, you come with the table with some truthfulness, you come with the table with that zeal. I mean, nobody is saying that DSTV should listen to us in Nigeria. It was a concerted effort. I mean, the civil society had their role, parliament had their role, the media had their role, the government had their role. I mean, and that is how come Nigeria was able to get the whole system to reduce their prices. So it is not the responsibility of Sam George or the Ministry of Communication to get us that reduction. But you see, if you express any contrary opinion from what he thinks, it thinks that you hate him because he is Sam George. For Christ's sake, you are occupying a public office, a public service, an office you need to serve with all humility. But this level of arrogance is unprecedented. And to top it all, how can you be arrogant and incompetent? These two words, arrogant and incompetence.
I find it difficult. Hold on, Mr. Paul. I find it difficult when you marry the two, arrogance and incompetence in what way, because I know people who have said that since the announcement by the minister, they went to, downgrade it. They got the same package as announced by the minister. And so, as he announced it, it's working. And so, where is the incompetence coming in here?
It's not an announcement. It's not an announcement of the minister. We all saw what the minister did. What the minister did, and the press conference from DSTV, and the frequently asked questions from DSTV, says that what they are engaged in are promotional material.
And DSTV, hold on, Mr. Bog, and DSTV came back with another statement apologizing for the FNAQ, which was all over the place. They came back to apologize with a new statement.
DSTV wants the minister, in account we call something that the minister tickled himself and he sat in his room, probably maybe surrounded by his family, and was laughing. Thought that he had achieved something. But the DSTV, they have outplayed the minister. So yes, we can understand. I mean, if you want the real facts, go to DSTV MultiChoice's website. You see what they have posted there. There's a PDF, and I can share with you something that clearly indicates that what has happened is a promotional material from the 1st of October to December 2025. So it is clearly a promotional material. And the minister just lodged on it, displayed incompetence, laced with arrogance, and he thought that Ghanaians should clap for him. That, for us, is our worry. You don't deceive the public by displaying your arrogance. That is the problem. And it comes back to say that anybody who is criticized because he is Sam George. Please, that public office is not a Sam George business.
But I don't think it's right for the minister to be fighting for consumers. At least he's fighting for the Ghanaian consumer.
I mean, we are all fighting for consumers, but we ought to be sincere. Today, I go to town, want to fight for the people of Mpraiso, that we want reduction in the sale of Banku in Mpraiso. I go to the Banku seller, negotiate with the Banku seller, says that I'm unable to reduce the price of Banku, but what I can do is that I'm going to add some pepper, more pepper to the package. I now come back and go and sit on radio and announce to the people of Mpraiso that, hey, please hear me. I've been able to achieve a reduction because you'll be getting more pepper for the Banku that you are buying. For me, this is incompetence. This is deceit, and that is why we think that that young man is not fit for purpose.
And you think the president should sack him?
Well, if the president really wants to deliver, especially in the communications ministry, I mean, it's been there for like 9 months. Nothing, virtually nothing. All it does is to talk, just blah, 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 make noise in this country with nothing. There's nothing to hold. I mean, if you're a minister of communication, look at with the value that you want to give to Ghanaians. Look at what is happening in the merger of AT and Telecel. When a company has come and is providing $150 million to inject in a company that is near dead, and you say that you want to go and merge, so that what? You reduce the competition in the system and virtually monopolize the system. It's much of incompetence. It's much of a minister who is not even responsible and who is not ready to listen to the good people of this country. And that one, for us in the minority, we will not allow. I mean, forget our numbers. But this level of arrogance and incompetence is something that we do not want to see at the helm of governance in this country.
And if this is not done, what would the minority members on the committee do?
We are hoping that the president listens to us. If the president really cares about his government, if the president really wants to deliver in the digital space, I think the president ought to listen to what the minority is saying.
Davis, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Sammy.
Davis Opoku Ansa is a member of parliament for the Mpraiso constituency and also a member of the Communications and Information Committee of Parliament. This is Eyewitness News coming to you live from our studio here in Accra. GB has some more stories.
Foreign Affairs Minister Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa says every region in Ghana will have a passport application center by December. He noted that the first of the new centers will open this month in Bolgatanga as part of efforts to decentralize passport services. The minister made this known while presenting diplomatic passports to 5 Ghanaians: travel vlogger Wodemaya, reggae artist Rocky Dawuni, broadcaster Anita Eskin, visual artist Ibrahim Mahama, and entrepreneur Denta Amwating. He added that ongoing reforms have made the passport process faster, with passports now delivered through courier service to reduce the burden on applicants.
Outside their regions, because we still have 7 regions without passport application centers. So imagine traveling all the way from Bolga, from Wa, from Oti to other regions for passport. But I'm delighted to confirm to you this evening that we've set a target by December. We are going to make sure every region in Ghana has a passport application center. So we are solving that. And the first one will be commissioning, will be done this month in Bolgatanga. So the efficiency is very clear.
Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa said the 5 recipients of the diplomatic passports were chosen purely on merit without lobbying, political or partisan influence.
So traditionally, it's been the politicians, the diplomats, our revered pastors and our eminent chiefs. But we thought that why not broaden it a bit? Our colleagues in the creative space are also promoting Ghana, and perhaps even promoting Ghana more than the traditional category of people who we have honored with diplomatic passports over the years. So we'll continue with that traditional category of those who qualify to receive diplomatic passports. But we thought that we should broaden it. Under the law, the foreign minister has discretion to identify those who need diplomatic passports. And once I discussed with His Excellency the President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama had no objection at all. He said that was a great list. You have covered all grounds, and these are people that he admires greatly, and so he gave us full presidential blessings to proceed, and that's why we did the announcement.
That was Minister for Foreign Affairs Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Your family's health should never be a worry, no matter where you are in the world. Are you a Ghanaian in the diaspora, a foreign resident in Ghana, or a Ghanaian looking for the perfect health insurance plan for yourself or your family in Ghana? Then the Apex Ebusiapa health cover is what you need. A comprehensive health insurance plan to protect your loved ones. From hospital stays to life-saving treatments, we ensure quality healthcare at an affordable cost. Apex Ebusiapa health cover. You don't just send love home, you secure it. Visit Apex Health Insurance at Zion House, Bondi Road, Shashi East Legon, or call 0540-128-256 or 0501-683912. Apex Ebusiapa Health Plan. Global love, local care.
Luck is everywhere for everyone. The winning season is back, but this time I am collecting the wins like Jollof at a wedding. The luckiest season 3 is here. Your chance to flip your luck or maybe your bank accounts too.
2 easy ways to join. Dial *712#. Hit 1 to buy for you or 2 to gift a friend. Feeling lucky? Pick 1 for a random number or hit 2 to choose your own. Pay with mobile money. Done. You're in.
Or go to the luckiestafrica.com, click community tickets, choose your number or let the system do so for you. You can buy a ticket for your boo or your favorite barber. Pay with Mumu or card if you're abroad.
1 ticket could turn your 1 Ghana Cedi into 500 times more. And the whole community could win 10 times over.
Dial *712# or log on.
Let's get lucky together because luck is everywhere.
Play responsibly, not for persons under 18 years. This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform.
If home is where the heart is, then let's go home, shall we? Let's go where the entertainment is, where the passion is, where the laughter is, and sometimes even the tears too. Let's go where we feel safe enough to share our opinions
and send tweets,
where we do that embarrassing little dance to our favorite song. Let's go home where the love, the care, and the joy live.
There's no place like home. Connect your home to super fast internet with affordable data bundles from MTN Home. Visit broadband.mtn.com.ga or your My MTN app to sign up today. Everywhere you go.
Are you ready to unlock the next big thing? It's a universe of endless possibilities. Get ready to be part of this universe. Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
You're welcome back. You're still listening to Eyewitness News, coming to you live from our studio here in Accra. Let's read a couple of your WhatsApp messages. Kennedy Onipayede says, minority in parliament should give us a break. When they were in power, what did they do about the prices of multi-choice services? Yarasani in Adenta Commando Research says, it is unfortunate to hear the micro minorities speak against a hard-working communications minister who has Ghanaians at heart. They should rather join the minister in ensuring that Ghanaians get value for their money. Mausi in the Volta region says, the minorities call for Honorable Sam George resignation over the DSCV price reduction is needless and baseless. They are merely seeking attention and political relevance. The minister's actions were appropriate and his leadership should not be undermined by the forced quotation. Let's focus on constructive dialogue, not misguided protest. Honorable Ayimu in Yagbon says, government's decision to increase cocoa prices is a step in the right direction and an indication how the government care about the farmers, and I believe this will extend to other farm products.
The Ghana Education Service GES has interdicted a teacher at Okeja Krom Senior High School in the Oti region after he was caught having sexual intercourse with a student. A viral video on social media shows the teacher in a compromising position with a student in what appears to be an office on the school premises. Head of the GES Public Relations Unit, Daniel Fenyi, said the matter is under investigation for the necessary disciplinary action to be taken.
We have interdicted the teacher in question. In fact, at the moment, the information we have is that he is a science teacher in the school, even the head of the department, and also there's also patron of the school. These are preliminary information that we have received, and so we have first interdicted him, and then secondly, we have also prohibited him from stepping foot on the school premises. Currently, he is undergoing, or let me say the video is undergoing strong investigations at the Regional Education Directorate, and we expect that in the next coming days they will be done with the investigations. Then the Ghana Education Service will dish out punishment as per the code of conduct guiding the noble profession.
He added that steps are being taken to provide support for the student at the center of the case.
In fact, for us, anytime a learner is caught up in such a situation, we consider the learner a victim of the circumstance or a victim of the situation. And so we have a guidance and counsel coordinator in the school, and then we have one at the district level and then at the regional level. Indeed, because she has already completed school and has left the school premises, reaching her is now more nuanced than if she were still on campus. But we are extending all the necessary support to her. I mean, of course, because her face has gone viral, her image and all that. And if care is not taken, such students will fall into depression, get frustrated, get emotionally down and all that. So attempts are way in place to ensure that mentally and emotionally she is supported through this process.
Head of the Public Relations Unit at the Ghana Education Service, Daniel Fenyi.
Let's go to the phone line and speak to Kofi Asari, Executive Director of the Africa Education Watch, to get his thoughts on this particular issue. Mr. Asari, good evening. Thank you very much for your time. Hello, Mr. Asari.
Hi, good evening.
Hi, good evening. Good evening. Thank you very much for your time. So there's a second video we are seeing in just 1 week. Are you surprised at what we are seeing?
Well, I am happy that what is hidden is inadvertently, being leaked to the attention of the authorities for action. I am worried that the authorities are not proactive in rather looking for evidence of exploitative sexual relationships between staff and then students, given the leads that we now have at least within a week. I think that the authorities should be more proactive than reactive. It is good for the evidence to come effortlessly, and then the junior has the opportunity of reacting by applying its own rules of conduct. But it is better for the juniors to take proactive steps to begin sampling some of these schools and investigating relationships, between teachers or staff and then students. It may wish to collaborate with the BNI on this. It is very important because, you see, when you have such cases coming up in a particular school, it is more likely, and I'm not saying it is a case, but it is more likely that you would find other undercurrents, or you find various dimensions of the crime taking place in the school, for which reason perhaps it never got to the notice of the genius for all this while. There are some schools where the heads may, instead of taking action when they are fully aware of some of these things, they prefer to be quiet and then manage it, And so what I want to say, in addition to the genius being proactive to sample schools and conduct deep dive into student-teacher relationships, it is also important for the genius to ask questions of the headmasters. Because if a headmaster is in the school and the headmaster is not aware, absolutely in abeyance when it comes to relationships between his assistant academic and students or a student, then it requires some further inquiry, because the headmaster should have a sense of what is happening between his staff and then his students. So beyond the culprit or the alleged perpetrators pending investigation, it's important for investigations to be widened, the scope of investigation to widen to include other teachers, including the supervisory heads of these schools, to find out how these things could have happened on the blind side, of authorities in the school. I want to say something about exploitation. You see, there's issues we've been discussing all week are not issues relating to sexual misconduct or what you call compromised position, as the genius put it in the case of the KNUST Senior High School. There's nothing like compromise situation here. The issue we are discussing is explicitly that of sexual exploitation. Okay, it is clearly sexual exploitation, which is the case that one person in a higher authority, okay, is taking advantage of the other for sexual purposes. It's as simple as that, because a relationship between a teacher and a student is not an equal relationship. And so in sexual exploitation, which is purely criminal, in sexual exploitation, there's nothing like sexual harassment or inappropriate relationship. No. It's just sexual exploitation, and it is criminal. And so we want to see the genius move beyond taking the suspects through its administrative inquiries to criminalizing them. Reports should have been made, and I don't know if they've been made to the police by now in all the two cases.
But in the first case, the gender minister yesterday announced that they are collaborating with the police to go and arrest the assistant headmaster. You think it will be right to make a similar call for this particular one as well?
The GES its own code of conduct. Sexual exploitation is not within the GES's purview. These are criminal matters. Even though GES will have the administrative procedures to take the stuff through, the first thing they should have done was to report the case to the police. That's the first thing. The crime is allegedly committed. First thing, because it is not. That's why I'm saying that if you look at the letter the GS issued, they mentioned that the teacher was in an inappropriate. What do I say? The word they used was inappropriate. It is sexual exploitation, and so it's a criminal issue. They have to report both to the school. The GS is the one that has to go and make the report. I mean, if I say the GS, either the school head or whoever is acting for and on behalf of the GS must make that report with the Ghana police before the Ministry of Gender will even come in to facilitate the process. That report is key, so that all staff of GS would know that if there is a sexual relationship between you and your staff, so far as you are in a higher authority or a position of authority or power, it is sexual exploitation and it is criminal. That for me is very, very, very important here.
Kofi, finally, we are told by the Ghana Education Service that in the second video, the girl is no more a student. I think she's completed. And so, they are now going to even look for her and do the necessary thing. You think they should still pursue this matter even though the girl has left the school?
Oh, if I go and steal at a bank in Ghana today and I travel to America and come in 5 years' time, I can still be prosecuted for saying. And so, if the alleged crime was committed, there's no bar to criminal, conduct. So yes, the teacher should be prosecuted, and then the girl should be identified. And then, most times, the challenge in prosecuting such cases is that you may not have, the support or the will of the girl. In this case, you find that you need the cooperation of the victim is key in establishing a strong case for prosecution. And so we hope that they are able to identify the girl, provide the necessary psychosocial support to them because of the way, they've been exposed to, harm and then ridiculed, etc. And then encourage them, to support the prosecution process so that these adults who exploited them will be made to face the law in accordance with the Children's Act and other laws of Ghana that seek to protect the rights of girls.
Mr. Asare, thank you very much for your time. Thank you so much. Kofi Asare, the Executive Director of the Africa Education Watch. This is Eyewitness News coming to you live from our studio here in Accra. Let's read a few of your WhatsApp messages. Ayuba in Savannah Region says, government decision to increase cocoa price is a step in the right direction. Cocoa farmers are happy. Akwete Raymond from Agotimo, Puerto says, this latest increase in cocoa price is the result of the buoyant economy that we are experiencing. This remarkable achievement is giving the MPP sleepless nights. Abi National Inwa says, MPP can do 100 press conference, but that will not stop JM from doing what is right. A few others. Yabua from Bremai Benin says, the talks are becoming too many. The government should pay the nurses and other government workers who have not been paid for years. This is Eyewitness News coming to you live from our studio here in Accra.
To some other stories, the coalition of unpaid nurses and midwives staged a protest this morning to demand the payment of salary arrears. According to the group, more than 7,000 nurses and midwives have worked for 9 to 10 months without pay, despite being recruited through official government processes. Convener of the coalition, Stephen Kwejo Techi, told Citi News they expect urgent action from government to address the situation.
When we started work, it was actually a total number of 13,500 that were recruited out of the 15,200 financial clearances. And it was in April 2025 that some of our colleagues started receiving their salaries. And as we speak now, a little over 6,500 have been paid. But the remaining, who are close to 7,000, are yet to receive a salary over 10 months now. We have made series of follow-ups to our employer, the Ministry of Health. Initially, the Ministry of Health communicated to us that the financial clearance that was used to pay some of our colleagues, ours has expired, which was new to us. But the Ministry communicated that it has written to the Ministry of Finance to extend the clearance so that we would be paid as well. We have made series of follow-ups to the Finance Ministry as well, but they are not trying to be clear with us. They are trying to hide some things from us. We've engaged our employer, the Ministry of Health, still no positive feedback. We have had a press conference and we issued an ultimatum to the government that if by September 2025 we don't hear anything from the government, then the government is definitely going to hear from us.
Convener for the coalition of unpaid nurses and midwives, Stephen Kwejo Techia. Meanwhile, Deputy Finance Minister Thomas Ampem-Nyakon assured that their concerns will be addressed promptly.
Your issue is being addressed. There are a lot of legacy challenges that we inherited, and we are working earnestly to fix all of them. In the next month or so, the Finance Minister will be in Parliament to present a new budget. Issues of health, workers who have not been paid, not just you. There are even some doctors and others are seriously being considered, and you are going to receive your salary.
You heard Deputy Finance Minister Thomas Ampem-Nyakon. Following the presentation of their petition to the Finance Ministry, the group proceeded to the Ministry of Health. Receiving the petition, Health Minister Kwabena Akando said his ministry will work with the Finance Ministry to settle the arrears of the nurses and midwives.
We appreciate the challenges you are going through, but we as a Ministry of Health will continue to work closely with the Ministry of Finance until all of you are paid. And so I have heard a lot of you screaming when. With the greatest of respect, allow me to get back to my colleague, the Minister for Finance. Let's put our heads together so that we can give you the final get blind.
Health Minister Kwabena Minta Akando.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Get the details. Every significant financial transaction, every market movement, and all the policies that affect your business. Citi Business News. Be informed.
Time now for Citi Business News on Eyewitness News. I am Ejibi Biafe Akenting. Let's settle for the details. There will be a rollout of a unified payment platform at the country's ports soon as part of the government strategy to improve efficiency and reduce delays. The new system, which will be fully integrated with the Integrated Customs Management System, is expected to consolidate all port-related charges, including custom duties, levies, and service fees, into a single payment point. Transport Minister Joseph Bukari-Nikpe, speaking on the Citi Breakfast Show, said the move will simplify transactions for businesses, minimize revenue leakages, and strengthen trade facilitation.
The ICOMS that is operated by the SEPs or the customs runs under the Ministry of Finance. However, we at the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, Ghana Maritime Authority, and Ghana Shippers Authority, we are looking at integrating our systems with the ICOMS so that we'll have a single payment point. And anybody who wants to do business at the port will have a one-stop payment, so that if you have to pay services to Shippers Authority, the Maritime Authority, and then the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, you have a one-stop payment point which will be integrated with the ICOMS and facilitate movement quickly. And so that lies under the Ministry of Finance, that is the customs.
Joseph Bukari-Nikpe is Minister for Transport. Away from that, Ghana is appealing to the European Union to lift the yellow card warning imposed on the country over illegal, unreported and unregulated fishing. Sector Minister Emilia Arthur points to major reforms and enforcement measures to address the EU's concerns. Therefore, Ghana deserves the removal of the sanction. She made the appeal at the launch of the 59 million euros West Africa Sustainable Ocean Programme, a joint initiative by the EU and government agencies to strengthen ocean governance and combat illegal fishing.
I wish to express our deep appreciation to the European Union for once again funding this initiative and for selecting Ghana as one of the beneficiary countries under WhatsApp. The EU's commitment to sustainable oceans and fisheries management has been instrumental in bringing this vision to life, and we look forward to a fruitful partnership that transforms ideas to impactful action, as well as EU lifting the yellow card ban on Ghana, because we have done everything. You have no idea how hard we worked to get the new law passed, and the new law addresses all the issues. So, Mr. Ambassador, tell them that they should lift the yellow card, because we have actually done very well.
Minister for Fisheries Emilia Arthur. But the EU ambassador to Ghana, Ran Skinnyback, insists more concrete action is required before a decision can be made.
I'm completely with the minister. We want the yellow card to be lifted. We want trade to normalize between the Ghana and the EU. For that to happen, we need to see now real action on the ground. The non-compliance issues have to be addressed. The enforcement issues have to be addressed. But the good news is that the framework is in place, so we are all very helpful that together we can convince Brussels that it is now time to give Ghana a third chance.
Ran Skinnyback is EU ambassador to Ghana. Now, Africa's efforts to boost cross-border trade and exports are gaining momentum as the Pan-African Payment and Settlement System (PAPS) begins to deliver significant economic benefits. For decades, the absence of a single currency has been a major barrier to seamless trade across the continent. But according to AfriExim, Its flagship payment platform, which has been designed to enable real-time cross-border transactions in local currencies, is already saving African economies an estimated $5 billion annually in transaction cost. Speaking during a farewell lecture at the AFCFTA Secretariat in Accra, the president and chairman of the board of directors of Afri-Exim Bank, Professor Benedict Orama, said the initiative is a game changer for Africa.
PASS is a revolutionary financial market infrastructure that enables instant cross-border payments in African currencies. Afrexim provided a financial backbone for PASS, committing $3 billion to PASS continent-wide settlement and clearing. This is to ensure that all participants are guaranteed payment finality. Since its commercial launch in January 2022 in Accra, PASS has gained strong momentum, with approximately less than 20 African central banks and 150 commercial banks joining the platform to date. This means that the trader can now pay and be paid across countries using local currency. A game changer expected to save Africa.
Professor Benedict Orama is president and chairman of the board of directors of Afri-Exim Bank. Now, managing director of Petra Trust, Kofi Finn, is asking the government to prioritize domiciliation of investment vehicles in Ghana to strengthen the country's position as a leading financial hub on the continent. His call follows a new study commissioned by the MasterCard Foundation in partnership with Mennonite Economic Development Association's MEDA, which shows that about 60% of African-focused investment vehicles are domiciled outside the continent. Speaking during a webinar on fund domiciliation in Africa, Kofi Finn stressed that attracting more funds to be domiciled locally will require collaboration among key state institutions.
When you look at the recommendations of the study, they imply that any success in increasing domiciliation, which I believe is required for any jurisdiction to consider itself a financial hub, requires sustained coordinated effort by government and policymakers. I don't think this can be done by one ministry or agency alone. Practically, there has to be a concerted effort by power at the highest level to create this change in a way that is really effective and sustainable.
Managing Director of Petra Trust, Kofi Finn. Also speaking at the webinar, the president and CEO of MEDA, Dorothy Nyambi, detailed why domiciliation is also so critical to development in Africa. Well, we'll do all to bring you that insight in our subsequent bulletin, and that's all for Citi Business News on Eyewitness News. I am Ejubi Wiafe Akenti. Up next is Point Blank.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Are you feeling tired after a hard day's work? Have you lost your appetite even for your favorite dish? Viral Blood Tonic is a nutritionally balanced, pleasant-tasting tonic fortified with iron and vitamins to boost your appetite and energy levels for high performance. Viral Blood Tonic, easy to take and good for the family. Viral from Danex Iting Starwin PLC. If symptoms persist after 48 hours, consult a physician. This advert is FDA approved.
We asked Ghanaian business owners what they want from Old Mutual.
I want insurance and pension solutions that will protect my employees.
Your business growth is our business. For 180 years, we have partnered with businesses to protect and grow their most valuable assets. From tailored group life assurance protection to affordable pension plans, we've got your business and your employees covered. Contact your broker or call Old Mutual on 0509 551 609 today. Old Mutual, do great things every day.
Oh, jump on now. Go. Ah, Ugomi, now what time will you come back where I don't hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car?
No, I don't change my car. It be the same ride. It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, so
this is the type of fuel where they want to. Cause now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive, sir.
Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. car. And what they bust my mind self be the 3-in-1 action, no. Excellium they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. Won't pay when I open them.
Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel?
Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you.
Hey, they make a finish Magobe fast, then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why you hand the Magobe inside?
I give you info. Make a fill the gobe too small.
The gogo.
Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
Welcome back. You're still listening to Eyewitness News, and this is Point Blank. On Point Blank tonight, the Minister for Transport, Joseph Bukari Nikwe, was in the studios of Citi FM this morning, engaged Bernard Avle on a number of issues affecting the ministry. Let's hear a excerpt of that interview between Bernard Avle and the Minister of Transport.
The rail is the way to go. You've asked whether it is for passenger or cargo. They go together. I mean, if you have your bag, it's cargo.
No, but we're talking about heavy duty exports of things.
Definitely, we are just starting the operations. And yesterday, I was telling them that one of the areas should be for cargo. You see that this is a very nicely refurbished train, and so if we allow any cargo within the cabin, we will soon destroy it. So we'll condemn one cabins that will be specifically for cargo, so that any passenger that has cargo will be rest assured that yourself and your goods will get to it.
How was the ride, and what was the route like? How quick was it? Because you know there's a lot of road traffic. If you're driving Accra to Atimpoku or Adomi Bridge area, you will go through a lot of traffic. So I know you didn't reach Akosombo, but at least the part you used, how smooth was it, and how easy was the journey?
Very fast and smooth. Let me say that that is the reason why the rail should come in, to help us decongest our roads because of these traffic congestions that we experience on a daily basis. So sitting in that train was one of the experiences I had, and thinking, how fast are we going to get the needed resources such that the other planned rail constructions will take effect quickly, that our people can travel in comfort. This is a system that there's no any traffic that will slow your speed till you get to where you want to stop or your destination. So it is one of the most quick and fast mode of transport.
You mentioned that the Western Corridor will be the priority because of the mining. Some could also argue that by way of integrating all the four modes, the Eastern Corridor provides the biggest opportunity, in the sense that you have a Tema port, you have the Mpakadan, then you have the Volta Lake, and then you have Tamale, which could serve as an airport for flying cargo to the Sahel region. So if you're looking for an integrated transportation system, arguably the Eastern Corridor provides a better chance than the what you make of that, and whether your railway master plan is integrated into a national transportation plan that has all the four modes.
Definitely. If you even talk of the Western Rail Line, it also connects from the Takoradi Port through to Kumasi, and the Bonkra Inland Logistics Terminal will also serve as an inland port. And if you take the central or the eastern, that is from the Tema Port through Mpakadan to Bupe, it's also a multimodal system, so that if you go with the rail to Mpakadan, then you use the barges, that is the Water Lake transport to Bupe, and then you use road transport from Bupe through Tamale to our landlocked countries, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. And so all of them come with the same purpose. What we need now is the needed to be able to.
And where is that money going to come from?
Well, as a government, we are looking at how we can get some BOT system. Assuming you are an investor, the private sector, you can come in to invest with us. But we are also looking at other alternative system of arrangement in raising funds. I am privy to some of these discussions, but at this early days, I will want to hold on and see how we can fast track things and then get them out to be announced by the appropriate personality.
The ports are under you, correct?
Yes, please.
There's been complaint, at least in the first few months of this government, about the demurrage that not just cargo companies but even oil lifters were experiencing. They were complaining about the efficiency of the port. I think it was around April, May, June. Have you been to the port since you took over, and what's the state of the port by way of the throughput and efficiency?
Bernard, our port is one of the ports in the West Africa that is delivering quality services to our people. And that's why we are blessed to have our landlocks like Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger trying on daily basis to use our facilities. Before we took over, there was a lot of backlog of cargo at the port. What we did was to quickly see how we can decongest the port by getting out all this cargo. And so if you Tamaport today, instead of cargo waiting, we have our personnel waiting for cargo, such that it can quickly be cleared, and then the shipping agents will be able to clear their goods on time. Now, if you ask of demurrage, it is when your goods stays for long and you are not able to clear. That is why at the end you face these demurrage charges. And in time, there's no anything that will have to create any demurrage for you. For instance, we had this congestion on the excavators that were left in the port. You remember?
Yes.
Some weeks ago.
I told you so many excavators that had to be kept at the port because there was no space.
Yes, we had to decongest the port. By taking them off, we had some backlash from media that we were clearing them in the night for people. No, we were rather keeping them at the military installations for safekeeping in order to decongest our ports so that there can be that quick and fast clearing of goods at our ports. So for now, especially
when the port users complain of the incomes or the ICOMs being slow, is that your fault or is the SEPs who complains about the slow pace? And there's also some sort of dispute between freight forwarders and shipping lines over charges and stuff like this. Is it really under your remit?
Bernard, not necessarily whether it is under my remit or not, but it also contributes to the delays at the port, which is under my supervision. Now, technology at times gets mixed up when you have a lot on it. The ICOMs that is operated by the SEPs or the customs runs under the Ministry of Finance.
Mm-hmm.
However, we at the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, Ghana Maritime Authority, and Ghana Shippers Authority, we are looking at integrating our systems with the ICOMs so that we'll have a single payment point. And anybody who wants to do business at the port will have a one-stop payment, so that if you have to pay services to Shippers Authority, the Maritime Authority, and then the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, you have a one-stop payment point which will be integrated with the ICOMs and facilitate movement quickly. And so that lies under the Ministry of Finance, that is the customs. But we are all working, we are concerned because it is our facility. We are supposed to have a kind of friendly business like activities in the port. So we are working closely with them to improve upon the system. There are softwares that would need upgrades at times. And I am aware the customs are also doing their best to improve upon those.
But there were some disagreements between port operators and the shipping lines. I don't know if that has come to your attention. I think they even have a court case, and the shipping authority had to even make some pronouncement. I think it's like a month ago in relation to what they call unfair charges by the shipping lines. Has it been brought to your attention?
Yes. You will realize that these days I've been on the move to ensure that we get the Ghana Shippers Authority Act amended. That will give the Ghana Shippers Authority the mandate to be able to control the activities of the port. and also regulate the work of the shipping lines properly. Some of our laws were not helping in controlling those issues, but thank God, Cabinet has approved of the amendments, and when Parliament reconvenes, it will be laid in Parliament. That will give the Ghana Shippers Authority the power to be able to regulate and also fix charges. I remember that when that happens, they will have the authority to be able to bring down cost of doing business at the port and also run the port effectively. All the terminals are under the Shippers Authority, and when their law is amended, the 683, when it is amended, the Act 683, it will be able to give them the necessary controlling powers to be able to regulate.
Let's deal with something controversial. Road accidents claimed 2,000 lives between January and August 2025. Now, when we do a breakdown of road crashes, a significant proportion of that involves motorbikes, particularly in the urban areas. Now, you promised in opposition that you will legalize Okada, and it seems to me as if your government is taking steps to do this. A lot of people feel that that's very misguided, that road safety is already a problem. Why do you want to compound it by legalizing the commercial use of motorbikes in a country with such a poor road safety culture?
Bernard, I don't see it in that form. I see the operationalization of Okada, in quotes, as the last mile's journey, where you travel by air, by sea, or road. You end up at a terminal or a station, or you end up at a proper road, but you will need to move to your home. And so the last mile's journey is the Okada we are talking about. I feel that because they are not regulated, we are unable to then them. And so if you check properly at traffic lights or joints where the police and other people are, when they get there, for fear of being arrested, they will not stop. They will want to maneuver their way and get out. And I think that if we operationalize their duties, we will now have the right opportunity to regulate or to monitor, to educate them, and also to follow their activities. And to support this, when I was going to Rwanda to look at their system, the 3-wheel usage, I went with some of their people, and I must say that they have tended to be ambassadors talking to their colleagues, even though the law is not yet amended. Gracefully, the cabinet has approved for us to lay it in Parliament when Parliament reconvenes, and I believe that within the by end of year, when we have the road traffic regulations bill amended, it will help us to bring discipline.
Can you tell us what some of the things will contain? You mentioned Rwanda. I haven't been to Rwanda, but friends who have been there say to me, all Okada riders are branded in bright clothes. You can recognize the way they are branded. The way they ride the motorbike is not like the way they ride it. I mean, in Ghana, people wear singlets. They are riding Okada. They are not properly dressed. They don't wear helmets. I was in Togo. I didn't see one motorbike rider without a helmet. So you went to Rwanda with them. That's nice. But what can you will insist on to ensure that, because the way we ride motorbike in Ghana is completely irresponsible. So are you going to put them in a training school? Are you going to reorient them? How are you going to ensure that they ride the motorbike in a way that will not kill our people, now that you are going to legalize them?
Bernard, not only from the roaders, even our drivers themselves. And we need a serious education and campaign to ensure that we bring people to order. Now, I see the Okada issues just as at a point where they are not regulated, and that is the cause of this. Where they are regulated, they will know what they are supposed to do, and it comes in a full package. All our DVLA officers will have space to test and then ensure that before you are given a license, you will have the needed requirement and the tools to use. You must have element. You have to be in a protective gear. Your everything is inspected before you are given that license. We are not just legalizing the operation and everybody who has a motorbike will jump on the road. You have to process before you be licensed by the DVLA to be able to operate or to operate as a rider that will take passengers and collect fare from them.
Will there be training? Will there be licensing in a different form? Or we are assuming that anybody who has a motorbike who's already should be just registered? Because the concern is about the, usually when people have accidents on Okadas, you go to our hospitals, if you go to the emergency centers, you will see a lot of the casualties are Okada related. Cars don't respect them, so sometimes the cars crash into them. Sometimes they don't see them in the median between the two roads. So it's a very serious problem. So it's, for me, my worry is, fine, you're talking about education, but are you going to have a specific type of orientation for Okada riders before you start this, or as part of the regulation process?
Bernard, we are going to put them under unions. And whilst you are getting your license to operate, you should belong to a union. And the union will have a specific role to play in DVLA to train you and give certification to you that no, at this point you are qualified to sit on a motorbike and carry a passenger. It is not, and so it comes in with a lot of package training, being part of a particular union, and again, the bike you are using, it has to be a roadworthy motorbike to be able to fit on our
my colleague has a question for you.
Yes, I'll stick with the unions, Honorable. Is it a situation that is it that the state has completely washed its hands off public transport and left it to the unions to dictate what it should be, or you have a plan that you implement through the unions at the moment?
I'm not sure I indicated that we are going to wash our hands and leave it to unions, just like we have with the commercial drivers. They all belong to unions, but we still work in line with them, in collaboration with them. They render quality services to our people. And what I said was that we are going to have unions that every bike rider will belong to.
I'm not even talking about just the riders, I'm just talking about general transport.
General transport, yes. Please. Already we have transport unions. They also help to discipline their members. So you must belong to a union. The union will be able to say that, okay, we have A, B, C, D who belongs to our union, and that we also have these rules. But as a government or as the ministry, of our responsibility is to ensure that we have discipline and business-minded operators. Whether you are a driver, whether you are an Okada rider to be, we have the responsibility to ensure that you render quality services to our people.
But if you look at the current state of public transport, particularly at peak hours, morning and evening, before work and after work, it is very frustrating for most users. Does that not indicate to you perhaps that just leaving it so far for the unions to dictate how we move around the city or our cities has not worked the way perhaps it should?
I agree with you to some extent, especially the frustration our passengers get on daily basis when they use the public means. As a state, we have also to look at our own, that is the Metro Mass Transit Limited, the STC, and also the Ayalolo services. We have to improve upon them and ensure that they also come in as a supplement or a complement to what the private sector is doing. Mind you that government cannot take everything on its shoulders to run. So we need that kind of mix of the private sector and government to be able to serve our people. And so over the years, you see that Metro Mass that is supposed to run within the inner cities and then connect to the rural areas, they've been run down, and their fleet is no more that strong to be able to cope up with the volumes, passenger volumes. So definitely you need the private sector to support our services. STC that used to be that viable, today they don't have the needed buses. And we are working to see how we can improve upon their fleets and get them some buses to be able to run effectively. That will give us the space to be able to deal with the private sector that is coming in but not performing up to expectation.
I think the point he's making is that the private sector is not giving us the good service. Let me give you an example. Trotros, a lot of trotros on the road have no business being on the road. Somebody goes to Germany to import a used van. He takes out the seats, puts some angle bars there, and then creates a new set of seats. No seat belts, nothing. Puts people on the road. Every year he gets renewal for that car. It's smoking all over. A lot of the trotros are not fit for purpose, but the unions have no interest in making sure that the trotro is regulated properly, safe. Now, so I think the question is, why isn't government regulating public transport operated by private people in a way that will ensure satisfaction for the customer? That's the question is trying to pull out.
Thank you, Bernard. That has to be looked at holistically. For instance, vehicles that are not roadworthy should not be found on our roads. Must you blame that on the private sector alone?
It's the regulator.
The regulator. And as a government, we will need to sit up in the areas of getting out rickety vehicles, or maybe on road vehicles that are not roadworthy out of our roads. I have had conversation with DVLA that any vehicle that is not inspected properly should not be given any roadworthiness. But it goes beyond DVLA. If a vehicle that is not roadworthy is found on our roads, the police should come in and be able to take out that vehicle. We realize that those days we have what we call the Go Rogue Boys, who will work to get you a roadworthiness certificate without the vehicle visiting the facility to be tested. And that is why we are opening more DVLA offices to create the space or create the environment for road users to be able, or truck owners to be able to get quick service. So you will not need to pass through anybody. And DVLA should not also give any roadworthiness to any vehicle when they have not seen it. And if they have seen it that it is not roadworthy, it should not be given any certificate to operate on our road. And again, the unions, I have had engagements with them, and they were to have a regional conference where we will still have these conversations with them. It was just postponed for some reasons, but it will come on. And these are some of the issues we are going to put to them too. That look, you also have a role to help serve your people, your customers. That is your business. The road is where you earn your livelihood. And if your vehicle is not roadworthy, it is for you to fix it, or you dispose of it and get a better means. But we should take it up as a government to bring in more vehicles to support the Metro Mass Transit Limited to be able to serve our people. Because if they have the alternative of a quality vehicle or good vehicle on our roads, they will not go and enter any rickety vehicle.
But why do you need to bring vehicles? In certain countries, for example, there's private companies that do Accra to Kumasi. I don't know what the name of the company is. They are not quite a few. They are not publicly owned, but they are well efficiently run. So I think that the point is, government always says, well, we will bring in buses for Metro Mass, we'll bring in buses for Ayalulu. A lot of that is embroiled in procurement challenges. I think why can't government say these are the rules for running a bus system? If you don't have these, we will disqualify you, we will fine you or sanction you. But private people can run the system profitably, because once you make it government, people become lazy. You know that. I mean, when somebody is working for government, usually it's not the same as when a private person is running it. So I think the government always tries to conflict issues as, okay, you and unions, do your thing. We'll also bring buses to complement. Set the rules, give us standards, and enforce the standards. I think that's what we're asking for.
But not necessarily. You have to create that alternative for travelers or passengers to choose from. And so if government is able to bring in more buses and they render quality services, I'm not sure anybody right thinking will go and enter any vehicle that is not roadworthy. That is why I was just stretching that we also have a part, a role to play to ensure that we have that alternative for our road users. However, some of the vehicles or companies are doing well too. They are doing well. It's just that a few of them are in the system that needs to be flushed out, and that is why I was saying that, from my point, DVLA will not issue any roadworthiness to any vehicle that is not roadworthy. I'm also urging the police to also ensure that, look, I can bet to say that most of the vehicles have no roadworthiness.
And yet they're on the roads.
They are on the roads. This is something that we have to all figure out and get those vehicles out of the road.
Minister of Transport Joseph Bukari Nikbe in that conversation with Bernard Avle. That's why we draw the curtains on today's edition of Eyewitness News that came to you live from our studio here in Accra. But remember, Point Blank was brought to you by Valleys Lease Equip Limited, Valleys Lease Affordable Document Management Solutions. My name is Sami Wiafe. Earlier you heard a Jubi Wiafe Atkinson show produced by Beverly London and Kobna Wilson, technical assistant Emmanuel Latte. So we're coming away again tomorrow. May the good Lord be with us all.
Citi News.